at the very start. Saber looking to get himself out, but it's first blood over to Ezreal. On the side of Team Yassuo, they make it happen. They get in there. They get the kill. They get the first blood. They didn't manage to steal the red buff away, but who needs it with 400 gold in their pocket?
He's really behind them.
Yeah, they're going to be putting the bottom lane of Saber so far behind at this point. He's going to walk back to lane. He's going to be missing out on a ton of experience. And so we're really looking at Value and Julian, who have a ton of competitive 5s experience to keep them at bay, to stop them from really coming back. And honestly, that was really close to Nidhogg going down as well. This is kind of a miracle for Team BoxBox that it wasn't even a bigger disaster.
Now, that was a good way to start a game of League of Legends right there. I was talking about the top side and how Lucian's going to make life pretty difficult for Fiora up there. And especially now that bottom side started off this way, we're looking at 2 different lanes that are going to be spam pinging for help if this was solo queue. Honestly, if you're going into this game with these matchups and that start, and it's a solo queue match, replicate this in that environment. If you're the jungler for blue team, you need to mute all right now. Because your Fiora is going to be asking for help the whole time. Rakan just got. And Saber and Joey are showing that despite the fact their opponents were able to find the first blood, they're still making it happen here in the 2v2. The cat is all that. But can he keep Saber alive as Yasuo shows up? Saber getting back underneath the turret. Yumi's in some trouble. Saber looking to block the skill shots, but he won't be able to do it. And now another TP is coming in. Yasuo and Value trying to get themselves away. Peckinwolf shows up, but he's not going to find a lot there with the ring of the Christmas trees. Value walks out. Peckinwolf showed up only to have to hike it back home. And it's a 1-for-1 at the end of the day down here.
What a bizarre game, you guys. Okay, Stumpy in trouble as well.
Okay, we got more fights breaking out. BoxBox is going to kill Misty Stumpy in a 1v1 as Fiora versus Lucian. Be still my heart.
I'm confused. You told me this never happens.
This is not supposed to happen. Lucian is supposed...
Yeah, this is full solo queue, you guys. At this point, the script has been thrown out. No idea what's going to be happening. People teleporting back and forth. Couple of kills already on Value. Saber, who we said was going to be in a really tough position, somehow is able to find a 2v2 kill with Joey. And at the same time, look at the difference between Mike Young and Nidhogg, who we haven't really touched on. Nidhogg got pushed back so far in terms of his jungle pathing. He's now 3 camps behind his opponent, who also had an opportunity to soak up some farm and experience in the mid lane. So the gold is all cattywampus across the map as we pay attention to the fact that there's a 500 gold lead from Value over Saber, but everybody else, you see a similar lead up in the top lane where BoxBox is also 500 up over Stumpy.
I just love the fact that it's 4 minutes in, we got 4 kills. That's 1 kill per minute. Let's keep that up. Let's get some LPL spirit in here. Worlds is in China this year. We need some Chinese League of Legends being played. And for those of y'all who aren't familiar with the difference, with the regional differences between the servers and how solo queue is played and just sort of how the game shakes out, the Chinese servers are among the most aggressive players to ever touch the game. There's no reason to farm because you could be PvP. There's no reason to take objectives because it's not PvP. There's no reason to address anything that is not another player that is for some reason alive when he should not be. And it's some of the most exciting League of Legends you could watch.
It's true. It's crazy to watch them. They will leave multiple waves behind to contest a scuttle because that's where the enemy is, right? If you always think you're going to win these outplays, if you always think you're going to win the fights, then you should be going for them. And they do a fantastic job of that. But this time, you got to pay attention to like where the gold lead is actually coming from. As Mike goes into the mid lane, don't think you'll find much.
Mike Young with the chilling smite, forcing the flash away from Peckinwolf. They don't quite have the ability to secure the entirety of the kill, but hey, getting the flash on a champion that has no innate mobility, that is a prize in its own. Mike Young going to face check this brush here. Nidhogg's able to find him, get some nice damage down here nice and early, but again, Peckinwolf just not putting these cages where the cages need to be, and Mike Young gets himself away plenty safe there, doesn't have to worry about spinning the flash. He wouldn't have had it even if he needed to.
Yeah, it's tough to play this Viger this game, right? You say he's not putting the cages, but he has a very small window to actually do anything because of all the mobility that is on Team Yasuo. Every single one of these characters has at least a little bit of a dash. Lily has a small one, right? The watch out eep is only going to get you a very small distance, but you're going to have that opportunity to do that anyway. You run so quickly. Eep.
I hate that ability name so much. Just make me say it on the air. All the rest of Lilia's abilities, Blooming Blows, Swirl Seed, Lilting Lullaby, they all have this alliteration pattern. They flow off the tongue. They're easy to say. But then I think somebody at the champion design team has been overdosing on a little too much anime, because then the W for some reason is named Watch Out Eep. Eep is not a normal word in my vocabulary. I actually don't think I've ever said Eep in my life before this champion came out. Now I have to say it all the time because she's in the meta. It's whack.
I feel for you, sir. As the color caster, I don't generally have to know any champions ability names. It's like, oh yeah, they're E. Oh, the thing that makes them run quickly. Yeah, I can do that. The passive, you don't even have to push a button for that one. But here we go. The first dragon actually getting started up. Team Yassuo first went to the punch with a small global lead, and I'm not really expecting a whole lot of contest. Silas does not start off the game very quickly, or excuse me, very strongly. It's going to take a while for them to actually build up an opportunity to look for these fights. But they will get very, very scary as the game goes on.
No contest here on the Drake. Easy secure there for Mike Young and Team Yassuo, making sure that they're starting that stacking here. About 7.5 minutes into the game, not the earliest that you can see first Drake go. Sometimes teams that are putting a lot of priority on it will get it around the 5-minute mark. So we won't see one of those incredibly early Drake souls come out this game, even if they get all 4 in a row. But we're still looking at one that could happen if they're able to maintain control of this game, keep that 1,000 gold lead blooming and growing into something even greater. Top lane, BoxBox doing a great job, man. Only 2 CS down against a Lucian is phenomenal for any sort of a melee champion. Mike Young here in the mid lane. Once again, they're trying to make the plays. They got the sleep. Here's the Eep. The damage goes through. BoxBox coming into the fight now. Yassuo in some trouble, trying to get himself away. Mike Young also trying to kite it out. Misty Stumpy showing up with the culling, trying to knock BoxBox up into the air. It's going to be bodies dropping on both sides. BoxBox and Yassuo traded away back and forth. Nidhogg jumping back into the fight, not going to find the stun there with the E on the chains. Nidhogg running away. The Eep is there again. The damage continues pouring through. Yuumi jumps off, but True Shot Barrage comes in. Saber's going to be taken low, but it's Silas taken down. Nidhogg's out of the picture, and Team Yassuo is pushing up the mid lane.
I love the control. Wow, good dodge. I love the control that Team Yassuo was able to play that whole fight with. Value comes in. Stumpy comes in, and everybody, they recognize that they're in a 3v3. Value's on his way. It's like, hey, guys, just hold on. Give us a couple more seconds. We're going to have a man advantage. And if Team BoxBox thinks that they can still fight after this guy shows up, they're going to be in for a world of hurt. And they did just that when all is said and done. We are still not quite at a kill per minute, Flowers, but we are darn close. 8 kills in 9 minutes, and there's going to be a lot more fighting left to go with all the crazy items and the Dark Seals that are coming out, 2 of them in Yasuo's inventory.
I will take it, man. Yassuo, once again, looking for a little bit of that aggressive trading pattern here onto Peck and Wolf. Gets the chains. Won't manage to stay in range to get the second part of him. Would have taken too much damage to stand around like that. The Q cooldown coming up very quickly there for Peck and Wolf. Yassuo wanting to jump right back in there, see if maybe he can find a little bit more, but not much to say about it. This game still putting itself in a point where anybody could take control. I like the fact that it's close. I like the fact that both sides are making some aggressive moves here and answering each other when those plays are showing up.
Yeah, and now we're seeing that Rakan, Julian walking across the entire map to actually show up at this Rift Herald. A very common play in high level 5. So you just bring your support up top, you have a man advantage, and suddenly you're going to be in a fantastic spot to take down the Rift Herald, get yourself all the plates that comes along with it. Obviously, a little bit harder when your support is going to be the Yuumi. They don't ever buy boots, they don't really have a whole lot of mobility and value. Gotta get out.
Oh, you trying to run away, man. Yuumi hit the whammy bar. Here's the root. Here's the damage coming through. Focus fire. See you later. Flash out to live. Easy money for the blue team. Team BoxBox gets paid. Now with a teleport showing up, can they get out? It's very dangerous here. Arrow comes through. Yasuo stopped in his tracks. Still needs a little bit more damage to make it happen. Rakan's going to be showing up now too. Joey walks away with 100 HP left. Yasuo chasing after him. Manages to take him out with the sigil. Knows he's going to die, so he gives the gold over instead to the Yuumi, making sure it's not going over to somebody more valuable. Julian's in some trouble. Rakan getting himself away. Down with the quickness. Out he goes.
And there we are, right back up to over a kill per minute. Flowers, this is great. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is the Twitch rivals that we all came to watch. Mike Young dropping the Herald in the mid lane as well. And so, again, gold all over the place where the leads are super bizarre at this point, but they are going to take down the mid lane turret, and that's going to allow Yasuo's LeBlanc to start walking around the map uncontested.
Also, Ashe got the kill. Yuumi wasn't able to damage the LeBlanc, but that would have been the thought process behind Yasuo executing himself underneath the turret there. As Yasuo, or Value having the kill, excuse me, a double kill for him onto both Peck and Wolf and Nidhogg. The Ezreal getting paid. This is why Ezreal is so popular in the meta. This is why Ezreal is just so often picked. 5-1-1 here on this champion scaling up.
Yeah, we're seeing Value. He's playing so smart. I mean, this is part of why this guy has had such a long tenure with teams like Maryville University. But whoop, that guy's also
Okay.
gone. Sorry,
Back to the
Saber.
mid
He
lane.
had a couple cool plays.
I love how this game is so violent. Literally, as soon as we pan to a different part of the map, somebody is already dead.
Uh-oh. Well,
Monka S?
still doing things. So.
Wait. Wait, hold up. This is.
It's good. It's
Is this some sort of a glitch in the Matrix? Okay, no. We're here.
I'm serious.
We're here.
Okay.
All right.
We did it.
No.
All right.
Holy shit.
That was a little frightening there for a moment. But all right, we're paused for a while here. I'm not sure what quite is going on with value. Okay, he's back. Cool. This is, as someone who's been through really long pauses before, pauses kind of give me a little bit of a fright every time they show up because I never know how long they're going to last. A couple weeks ago, we had one that was a mouse error. It took like 55 minutes to fix.
Oh, jeez.
So sometimes the pauses are a little rougher than other times, but at least it looks like Value's reconnecting. Hopefully we can get back into the game sometime soon.
Hey, I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, and what we're saying is just watching Value play. Like he's been playing for Maryville University for a little more than a year at this point, and he's been looking really, really good. There's a reason why Maryville have been the top collegiate team in League of Legends for as long as they have, and it's because they have such strong, such powerful and calculated players. You saw it right there. Value lined it up. True shot barrage. There is nowhere left for you to dodge. Just gonna throw this out, clean up the quick kill. As the rest of the map slows down a little bit, I'm a little bit surprised that after the solo kill top lane, we haven't seen anything from Misty Stumpy or BoxBox in quite a while.
Well, I think it's one of those things where that first kill sort of sets the pace of stuff. Because anytime Lucian is the top laner, Lucian's entire job is to make the other guy's life hell. He needs to play aggressive. He needs to constantly try to trade into the opponent, keep him stuck underneath the turret, get turret damage. Also, I apologize if any of I still have to hold this guitar because I realized I put it on before the headset, and so I would have to take my entire headset off and miss what was happening in the cast to remove it. So now I'm stuck with the guitar until the game's over. So that's why we still have the guitar. This wasn't something intended. It was a mistake, and I goofed. But back to Lucian. Yeah, he's supposed to dominate the matchup. He's supposed to control the lane, but then after Fiora solo kills him, he's going to get cold feet a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Don't lie. You're the one playing Yumi in this game.
Oh, yeah. Whammy bar. Right.
You might as well just tell everybody that like you're actually playing and casting at the same time, which is pretty.
Have you guys done
hard.
that before? It is a very unique experience to try and cast while you're playing.
Yeah, so like I've casted my own games in my like home game of Rocket League, but that's a completely different game than League of Legends. Like I don't know how you do it in League of Legends because like Rocket League, it's like I at any point know what everything is, and it's not about knowledge, it's about mechanics, right? And this game's like I sometimes have trouble knowing what's going on in my own lane, you know, like just like keep track of three others at the same time. That's hard.
It's a little bit tricky, for sure, absolutely. But it would help to be playing a champion like Yumi, because it relieves some of the decision making, like having to move. As Silas goes in, he's put to sleep. Watch out, Eep. Here's the damage. See you later. Enemy slain. Kill credit over to Yassuo himself. More money on the LeBlanc. That means more burst, more power, more scaling into the mid game.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to just point out the fact that Julian uses the Grand Entrance to try and block off the one escape route that was available to Silas. Didn't end up being necessary, but still always that kind of next level play that you're looking for from these players. As we start looking at the fact that the Dragon is spawning again, and guys, there's a 3-level difference between Mike Young and Nidhogg at this point. The Silas is a long way from being a threat in this game, and as this next Ocean Dragon likely to go down in favor of the red side, it's not going to get any easier because he's not going to have the extra HP to take this game a little bit longer.
Red side does have the control over the river for now, but considering they don't have any players in the nearby area, it doesn't look like either team's looking to jump on this immediately. One thing I do want to point out, this is a 6,000 gold lead at 13 minutes. That's nearly 500 gold per minute as a lead, which is what I consider the GG point of any game. If you're 500 gold ahead per minute at any point after 10 minutes, the game just feels so doomed. And Team Yassuo is approaching that threshold. A lot of it is thanks to this Lilia. A lot of it is thanks to Value popping off on the Ezreal as well. Yasuo here in the bottom lane. He knows I'm not giving him the credit, and he's looking to make that change a little bit here. True Shot Barrage not quite going to find the damage. Yasuo cleans it up anyway. Now he's got to get away from Peck and Wolf. Joey is isolated. The Yumi's alone underneath the tower. They're trying to make sure they're not able to get in range of Peck and Wolf there. Now Peck and Wolf is the target. Working together with Julian here to try to chase him down. Peck and Wolf running away, gets underneath the tier 2 turret. Yasuo chases after him, and Mo makes the plays. Mo's getting paid and making sure everything is happening here in the bottom lane for his team.
Yeah, there you go. 19 kills, 14 minutes. I think it is looking pretty grim at this point. Stumpy, I don't think he's really behind at this point, but he's going to start struggling against BoxBox pretty heavily, and King Nidhogg needs to start fighting some of these kills if he wants to have any chance of being relevant in this game. But Stumpy doing a fantastic job knowing something's up. He knows Silas and Chill bottom lane. He has to be top side. I'm going to stand back a little bit, make sure I don't give over a kill here. So 10,000 gold lead currently in favor of Team Yasuo.
Yeah, it's a lot. We're at about 8.5 plus 2 Drakes plus 9 kill advantage. I mean, they got 2 turrets as well for extra map control. We are definitely at the point where Team BoxBox must capitalize on a mistake from Team Yasuo. It's not just Team BoxBox can play well and mechanically outplay anymore. No, their opponents must make a mistake. This is far too big of an advantage at this point in the game. Peck and Wolf getting jumped on. Yasuo getting himself back, taking that snap back on the distortion just in time to avoid the stun coming out from the cage. Here's Mike Young. Watch out. Eep! Yasuo goes on a rampage, tries to get himself away. Another sleep going to be coming back from that one, but Nidhogg's not able to find the kill. Yasuo right back into the fight, make it a double, make it 4 dead on the side of Team BoxBox. They're going home in a BoxBox, baby. It's Team Yasuo dominating the fights.
Gosh, BoxBox might be the next one, too. Look at all the members who are hovering off to the top side of the map. They want this outer turret.
Oh,
I don't think BoxBox can kill Value.
BoxBox isn't going to kill Value. There's no way. As the rest of the team is showing up too, the Swirl Seed comes through. Now, Mike Young doesn't have the sleep, so it's not like BoxBox is going to have to worry about that coming out. He goes after Value. He recognizes that he's dead here in this situation no matter what. The best thing that could happen is try to go 1 for 1. That's not happening. The Ezreal's too far ahead. 7-1-1 here on this guy. Tier 1 turret falls in the top lane. 11,000 gold at 16 minutes.
Oh, Mike?
Oh, no. Here we go. More trouble. More trouble for Team BoxBox. Mike Young just absolutely dominating this game here on the Lilia. Ever since that level 1 invade, he has just been skipping and prancing around the jungle, doing whatever he damn well pleases. And this team is just looking so good here in this match to decide who's going to playoffs and who's going to the redemption bracket. 5-20. Unfortunately, Team BoxBox has one too many kills to truly have a dank game on our hands, but it is still an incredible showing here from Team Yasuo.
You got to talk about first world problems at this point, Flowers. Normally, when you're taking dives that deep into your opponent's side of the map, it's because Baron's up. It's not even 20 minutes yet. It's not even 17 minutes yet. The second Rift Herald is going to go over, and so it's like, oh, guys, we just want a team fight. Let's go get the big objective. It's like, oh, yeah. Well, we can get the second Rift Herald. What did people decide their name was? I've heard, like, Herald with an A.
Shelly?
It's Shelly.
Shelly? Well, Shelly's the first one. But who? What is the sister's name?
It's also Shelly. This is League of Legends.
Also Shelly.
Think about every champion. When a champion dies, what happens to it? It comes back. And Shelly just has a really long respawn timer. The fountain is the Baron pit for her, and then she respawns. She's still Shelly.
I'll accept it.
She just has to respawn. It's the rules of League of Legends, bro. There's Also, we missed out on what was almost a kill onto Nidhogg, but Nidhogg at this point is worth less gold than one of the jungle camps, so I just continued the Shelly conversation.
Yeah. I didn't even realize he died.
he didn't die. He stayed alive. It was almost a kill.
Oh, okay.
Stay alive. As BoxBox tries to run away, Knockup would have came through from Julian, forces out the riposte, and with the riposte down, Yasuo knows he can jump in, immediately find that kill. Look, Mo is making some moves this time around. I like flaming Mo. I like talking trash to him. He's a Yasuo player. It's just, it comes naturally. But I got to give credit where credit is due. The man is having a seriously good game here on the LeBlanc, 7-2-8. Julian goes into the quickness, but he's stuck inside the Recon, or not the Recon cage, the Veigar cage, so it's not going to do a lot. Yasuo tries to run away. He's stuck in the enemy base, but stuck doesn't really apply to LeBlanc players. They have so much mobility and ability to get over terrain. Shelly is still alive here, 280 HP left, looking to get another charge, but she gets stuck and smited. Out of the picture she goes. Bottom lane inhibitor down at 18 minutes into this match.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yup. That's about all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, I think were we having this conversation during rehearsal? I don't remember when we were talking about it, but it's like at some point it's just like, well, what can they do? And it's like they hope for their
Nothing.
opponents to mess up. They
Yup.
hope that something good happens and it allows them to, chain 2 or 3 team fights back to back. Because it's not just one mistake that Team Yassuo has to make. It is multiple mistakes in a row for us to even have a real conversation on our hands about how they come back. As 13,000 gold, that is a 50% increase on what you have.
And-
or no, it's close to double. They have close to double the gold.
And this is also the thing that we haven't talked about. This is a delicious revenge for Team Yassuo. Remember that these two teams played in round 1. It was Team BoxBox that beat Team Yassuo because BoxBox himself was able to go for the back door onto the Nexus as the Jax. But now Team Yassuo clearly learned from whatever mistakes there were in that first game. Remember, we only got to see about the last 10 minutes of it. But whatever happened didn't happen this time around, and Team Yassuo has just dominated from the very beginning.
There's no pressure. I feel no pressure.
Yeah, and you got to wonder what that ends up doing to the trash talk. Like, does Yasuo come back like, oh, we were sandbagging game 1, we gave that over to you, or is he gonna double down? Is he gonna say, like, yeah, I like you, Albert. This is pretty good. You guys played that first one pretty well, but we got your number this time around. So it's curious to see what they'll end up doing with that as they watch these structures crumble around them.
I believe we'll be seeing the end of the game here pretty soon, gentlemen. The Swirl Seed rolls through. We'll not find any sort of a target here just yet. Baron only just now spawned on the map. The game has been in such a state that it wasn't even an option for Team Yassuo to try to take up until this point. They already have super minions flowing into the bottom of the base. Super minions very difficult to deal with at this point in the game, just considering your champions aren't that strong. Look at the itemization. A lot of people on the side of Team BoxBox only at a single completed item. Veigar has no completed items. Silas has a jungle item and a Kindle Gem and a mana crystal. Mike Young getting stunned up there. Arrow coming through. Damage coming down. Are they able to find the punish? No, they're not. BoxBox first one to die. Going to be a trade 1-for-1. Jungler traded out for the top laner. Underneath the turret, it's still going to be health bars dropping low. Value with the flash over the wall, keeping himself alive. Yasuo also in retreat. Peck and Wolf trying to go aggressive here with the cage. Looking for something. Looking for anything. Yumi's going to be chasing after these guys. Yasuo not going to get caught anytime soon here today, and they all back away.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little bit messy coming out from Team Yasuo. They ended up getting caught, but still, they still get most of what they came for. They got the inhibitor turret. They continue to open up the base. And it's not going to change the fact that they are currently sitting at a 13,000 gold lead. Every single one of their members has at least a full item advantage on their opponents, except for Misty Stumpy, right? You're looking at the captain of Team BoxBox, and you're saying, hey, he's doing fine. He's only 20-ish CS down. He's got a full item. He got a solo kill on his lane opponent, but the Fiora, not a good team fighter, gonna have a real tough time actually dealing with all of these very fed members as Saber. There, and he's not.
Yeah, this is rough. That's very unfortunate. If you're the Ashe in that situation, there's not much you can do except drop a couple of question mark pings in your own body, because that's a LeBlanc with a Luden's Echo, 14 pages in the BM book, and an extra needlessly large rod. Team Yasuo onto the Baron, not really worried about anybody coming up to contest this one. Yasuo just making sure that top lane wave gets pushed out. Remember, once these guys get this buff and they're all wearing purple, it's very easy to march into the enemy base and just wreak havoc.
The tools just aren't there for Team BoxBox, right? They have an Ashe Arrow, they have a Viger Cage, so if everybody funnels in and chooses to stun themselves, then we can see some big options. But other than that, there's not a whole lot they can do. There's not a lot of proactive plays that their champions can really make. They were very reliant on being ahead previously, and the arrow lands, but Julian is pretty far back, not going to do a whole lot more than that, and that is one of the major tools that they have to try and find anything just completely gone.
Yeah, the arrow, it hit. Cool, that's great. We can count that in the stats page later, but we're only going to be doing it after the Nexus blows up. And right now, Team BoxBox is dangerously close to that point. Nidhogg tries to get himself away. Misty Stumpy chasing after him. A little bit of sleep down onto Mike Young from the stolen Lilia ulti. But now all of Team Yasuo doing their work here, taking down the top lane inhibitor, taking down the mid lane inhibitor. BoxBox going after the kill, won't be able to find it onto Julian, getting himself away. Not too worried about dying, but you got to be worried about the Nexus. First, the turret will drop. next. The other turret's going to be in some trouble. All of Team BoxBox, you guys got to rally. You got to be there. It's an impossible fight, but it's your last possible chance. Misty Stumpy tanking up there on the front line. Mike Young throwing in bowling balls into the back. BoxBox running away from the top side. Value's got his number. Nidhogg jumping into the fight, going after Julian here yet again. Yasuo goes for the double distortion, but won't quite be able to find it. Knockup coming out from Julian. More damage going through. Peckinwolf taken down to 40% HP as Saber tries to evade and sidestep and walk around. It is finally a kill coming through for the side of Team BoxBox. They get one onto the enemy support. Unfortunately, they've already lost 3. It's 2 men left alive, and it will not matter. The Nexus will fall. Team Yasuo, welcome to the playoffs.
They make it through in dominating fashion, and you might be like, what? Where was this team the first time they played against BoxBox? And here, let me tell you. Let me give you my 5-head theory of
All right.
what the frick frack is going on here, okay?